Tesla's now selling the Model Y in China, or they launched the configurator and is starting to take orders, which means that the Chinese Model Y factory, which we talked about the Gigafactory in Berlin earlier, is coming along, I suppose. If you don't recall, the next to where the existing Shanghai factory that makes Model 3s is, there's another structure that, with the blink of an eye, is already getting much more further along. And they now published it there, which, by the way, if you guys, I just figured this out the other day trying to film for a video, but if you're ever wondering, you want to go see this data or the Chinese configurator, you don't have to fly to China, okay? Taking a boat, depending on where you live, that could be a long flight. So don't do that, okay? Instead, you can just go to Tesla.com, go to order a Model 3 or whatever, thing you're interested in whatever language or country you're in. And then off to the right, it'll actually show, it'll say, for us, it'll say US. You click on that, and then you can just change it to whatever country you want. So if you're ever curious about how to see these things in real life, you don't have to wait for Electrek to post them. You can just go do it yourself. So there you have it. Now, the interesting bit on here is the price, 488,000 yuan and 535,000 yuan for the performance version. Pretty good. And below that, where it says it's all the Chinese characters right now, but it says 505. I believe that's going to be kilometers is what that wants to be. And it says WLTP below that, which is interesting because in China, a lot of the other Chinese automakers don't use WLTP for their standard of rating range on them. So little nuances here. But yeah, the Model Y coming soon to the Chinese economy. I do wonder what the demand is like. Like here, that style of car, crossover SUV, is the most popular. Over there, I'm unfamiliar how popular this might be.
Yeah, I think it'll be huge. I think it'll be huge.
And I have almost that exact car sitting in my driveway right now that you're showing on the screen.
How do you like
Stormtrooper.
it?
Yeah, we just got it back. So we got our Model Y a week or so ago, and then took it immediately to my friends over at Elite Finish to get paint protection film and tint and all those kind of things done. Already on the way over there were some things that they noticed that just from driving it that were causing damage to the car, which is nuts. But again, these guys are super detailed and super all that. So they had it for over a week. We just got it back. It's all styled up, shined up. Went and shot a bunch of stuff with it yesterday. So all that's coming out sometime, probably next week. I took a week off from posting. Just all the protests and everything just felt like not the right time to be posting like, hey, woo, we got our brand new $80,000 car. Just seemed kind of insensitive. So, it held off a little bit.
But what do you think of it?
I love it.
For a bit.
This is first thought. The back seats that they recline a little bit, it's mind-blowing how much space there is in the back seat. Have you guys ever got to sit in one? I think you guys didn't come to that event, right? But in the back seat, the back seat has three positions. It's kind of like straight up, medium, and then kind of fully reclined. And when you sit there with it reclined, as I'm, 5'11" and 3/4, looking up with a full glass panel roof above you, my feet are almost extended all the way out. It's like one of those extended room seats on an airplane that you can never afford. It felt like that versus like the coach seats that you're used to, where you're all cramped in. And so that to me really stands out as like, wow, I would feel really comfortable in the back of this. And I'm somebody that gets car sick and all that. So like that to me really stood out. The space inside with the two undercarriage bits is tremendous. When you put the seats down, you can lay all the way down. I mean, it's a super function. It's like the much more functional big brother to the Model 3.
And even in some ways more functional than a Model X. Like it's almost like it took the best parts of the X and the 3.
Yeah, it depends on which X configuration you get, but yeah. I think the X, so like looking at all these, and I'm probably going to do a video on the Model Y versus the Model X just to show the differences. But to me, the Model X is if you need a lot of seating. Because right now the Model Y doesn't have the third row. And even if it did, it would be really small, like just kids. And there's no way a full-size adult could fit in there. And I don't care what Elon tweets. I'm just telling you right now, it's not going to happen. But the Model X can, and it is tight in that third row for an adult, but kids will fit back there easily. So you could, if you have a family with, say, 3 or more kids, the Model X is kind of your only option in the Tesla lineup. And if you get the 7-seat option, you can fold all the seats down, and I think it may be bigger than the Y, but not by a whole lot. So yeah, it is like, but the price difference is so much. It's such a better price for the Y versus the X that I would recommend that for most people. Really, the only time you need the X is if you have 3 or more kids, essentially. So 5 or more people in your family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, the Y is the winner, man. I mean, the thing is incredible. There are some issues that I need to get taken care of, and I have in my video. I think I talked about it last week. The delivery experience, not my favorite, but the times like these, it's hard to nail all that stuff. The thing that I thought was kind of interesting, my car was made in May. So it was made after the factory refreshed, and the VIN ends in like 7,500 something. So if that is true, then this was like one of the first 8,000 ever made. And I feel like I thought they had sold more than that already. Maybe I was wrong, but it seemed kind of like a low number for it to be one of the newest ones made.
Do you think the quality is better than early Model 3s?
It's hard to say, right? I had one of the earliest Model 3s. It was like the first 2000 made. That thing, I mean, I had it in the shop the first year 7 times for non-trivial things, like the entire steering column getting replaced, the MCU, the computer media center, being completely replaced, the entire center console being completely replaced. I mean, I had Tesla call me and say, "Hey, are you driving right now? Yeah, can you just pull over and stop? We're going to send someone to get you because your car may, just run into a wall or something." And I'm like, either tell me I'm going to die or you can go to hell. You can get the car from me tomorrow. I'm busy, and they were like, "Well, we're not going to say you're going to die." I'm like, "Okay, click, bye." So that was like a whole deal. But my Model 3 had a tremendous amount of issues. And it's funny. There are still bits where somebody that knows Tesla or that works there will get in my car and they'll go, "Oh, wait, you have this version of that emblem." Well, that's like that. This was an early one. And then you look underneath the trunk and you're like, "Oh, wait, there's no like panel here." Because they like forgot to put it in, or like they didn't make them yet, and later on they added a panel there. Now things like that. But the Model Y that I got, it seems to be much more mature in terms of like that stuff. But body panels and fitment, I actually have about 5 or 6 things written down that are not great. Some of them are like minor, and I'm like, "Oh, we can just fix that." Other ones, I'm like, "You need to replace this whole door." You know what I mean? So it's not perfect. Like they definitely still, in terms of how this one was built, have a long way to go to achieving, I would say, like, a perfect or really high quality of their production. It still is very, like a lot of stuff. You're like, how is this possible that this is like this? So I don't know how to do a video like that without sounding like a complete butthead, but I definitely want to share with people more on the side of like, hey, these are the things to look out for. Like this is the issues that I had. Make sure to check these things, because even when we picked it up, I spent an hour or so going over it, and I didn't find any of this stuff until later. Maybe because you're just so excited to get it, and I'm filming and I got the family there. It's like not really. But yeah, it's not perfect. I don't know, like, hopefully the issues of like, oh, we have to replace the entire steering column or the entire computer or the entire whatever, or like the glass on my Model 3, the sunroof glass cracked into a Tesla logo. Remember, Joe, you were there.
Yeah, that was there. Yeah.
Remember, we were like, what the hell? Things like that. Hopefully, like those issues, I don't know what you'd call those, more structural, are fixed, but the fit and finish definitely still has a long way to go, I would say.
I mean, the interesting question is the learning curve for the Y maybe not as steep as it was for the 3, because they share so many of the same parts and they probably use some of the same lines, and they had to learn all that kind of brand new from the 3.
Like maybe the internals of it and those bits are totally solid, and it's still basically the same issues that Tesla's had forever, which are the fit and finish and the paint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if early adopters like yourself have generally a worse impression of these cars than somebody who gets them later and they're all polished and a lot more better.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, that's why I caution going too hardcore. Like, you see a lot of people post videos like 5 things I hate about the Model 3 or whatever, or like, Tesla's epic failure leads to destruction, and you're just like, God, like, shut up. Like, I want to share the information and I want it to be real. I also want to have a headline that encourages people to watch the video, but I don't want to sound like I don't know, like a
jerk.
Tinfoil hat, like conspiracy theorist or something. Like this isn't the end of the world. These are just issues that they have. They can fix them. And on the other hand too, I also want to post things like that because I want Tesla to know, like, this wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully they'll see it and
improvements.
Yeah, whereas like if some random person tweets some stuff, like they may never see it. You know what I mean? So me posting a video about it hopefully has a higher probability that someone there that can do something about it will see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too highly of myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this clip from our show. If that's just not enough for you and you want to watch the full episode, you can go to olfpod.com/YT.
And if you want more from us, you can consider becoming a Patreon member. You'll get early access to episodes. You can join our awesome community. You can actually watch us record live and get your name in the credits by going to olfpod.com/Patreon.
So thanks everyone for watching. Check back every Friday for new clips here and new episodes on the main channel.
Thanks everybody.